Hello, Colleen here. Today we're going to make hummus, which I make about every 2 weeks. I love it because it's delicious. It's my own version. You can put it on salads, it's super creamy, and you can put it on sandwiches, and you can just eat it with cucumbers or celery or radishes. I love hummus. I like making it home because I know it's organic and there is no oil except for the fat that's in the tahini. So I think it's worth it, and it only takes a few minutes. So let's make some homemade hummus. I always make 2 batches because it's a good amount of hummus, and that way I can eat as much as I want. So I do get canned garbanzo beans and I rinse them. And when I rinse them, I save what they call the aquafaba, which is the juice that's in the can of garbanzo beans. So I save that for the hummus, and I rinse the garbanzo beans. So this is 2 cups of rinsed garbanzo beans. I should say 2 cans, so about 30 ounces. That's what I meant. And I'm gonna be blending them. I have a Ninja blender, and I use the big bucket, not the small one, because I make this 2 batch. I'm going to put in, for my double batch, I'm going to put in 4 tablespoons of tahini. Here's my tahini trick. I use a teaspoon, like a spoon that you use for tea, a long teaspoon, to get in the tahini and twirl it around and get down there and get the tahini at the bottom. So that's 4 tablespoons of tahini. And I like to get it all in there. Yum, yum. I do 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. 2, 3, 4. Obviously, you can use fresh squeezed lemons. I am not good about getting lemons and using them in time. So I've taken to getting the Santa Cruz organic pure lemon juice. It is just lemon juice. It doesn't have anything else in it. It's like $6 a bottle, but this lasts me about a month. So this is what I've been using for all things lemon. So that's the lemon juice. The thing that makes this hummus really good, in my opinion, is using liquid smoke. And apparently it really is like liquid smoke. They get the essence of a smoke. It's magic. So this is liquid smoke, and I'm going to use, actually let me use my dry ingredient first. I'm going to put in smoked paprika, and I'm going to use a teaspoon of smoked paprika. So I only have 1 teaspoon measure, so I try to use the dry ingredient first. So that's my teaspoon of the paprika. And now I'll do the teaspoon of the liquid smoke. So here we go. And this recipe also calls for roasted red pepper, and I don't have roasted red pepper, so I'm not going to use it. I'm not worried about it. And also garlic. Ooh, and so it calls for, oh, I don't have this open, shucks. I didn't have everything fully prepared, I'm still practicing. So it calls for like 6 to 10 cloves of garlic, especially when I start to get up to those numbers. I don't got time for that. So I do the cheddar garlic, the minced garlic. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of the minced garlic, which, as I say, I should have prepped this beforehand, but I did not. So 1 tablespoon is enough, and 2 tablespoons. Try to get this packed in water, not in oil, if possible, which is quite possible. I think this one does have the oil. Let's see, what does it say? Soybean oil. So I prefer to get ones that are not packed in oil. This one is. I'm going to go on. And so I've got the lemon juice, the garlic, the liquid smoke, the smoked paprika, the tahini. I skipped the roasted red peppers, and finally the aquafaba juice, but I add this as I'm going and add just a little bit. So I'm going to blend it first and see where I'm at, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of aquafaba, a couple tablespoons, maybe a quarter cup. So let's see how this goes. So, closing the lid. You can also add salt and pepper to taste. Okay, now I'm going to add a little bit of aquafaba. That's probably like a quarter cup. And just use one of these handy dandy rubber spatulas to smoosh the stuff down from the sides. And I like to make the hummus depending on what I want it for. If I'm going to put it on salad, maybe I make it a little creamier, a little bit more liquidy. But if I'm going to put it on a sandwich, I really like to try to have it be as firm as possible. So I tend to go easy on the liquid. That's looking good. And then, as I like to say, with spices, hot spices come great responsibility, but I do like to have a little bit of heat in my cayenne and my hummus. So I'm going to add, not too much, I've made this mistake before, just a little bit of cayenne. I can always add more, and I'm liking the consistency in there, so I'm going to leave that as it is. And then I'm going to get my taste tester spoon. And sometimes I like it a little bit more lemony, depending on what kind of mood I'm in, because I just really like the flavor of perked up lemon things. So let me see how this is. It's got a great flavor. Texture needs to be ground down a little bit more. The liquid smoke is really good. The smoked paprika is really good. The touch of cayenne, just a little bit. And me, I like a little bit more lemon. I might add just a little bit more lemon. Just a little bit. Gotta be careful when you start adding. But I know what I like. I like that lemony, perky lemony flavor. Okay. And I like the consistency. It just needs, the beans just need to be ground down more. So we're gonna let this go for like maybe even a whole minute. I doubt you can handle it all right now. Just 10 more seconds. 7. See how that tastes. It definitely got creamier. I like this consistency. I love it. It's so good. And being able to make it to your taste is the best part, because now I have store-bought hummus and I'm like, it's okay. Doesn't taste as good as mine. And that's the value. And what has this taken me? Like 5 minutes? Now, you do have to, leave in time to put it in a container. It's already cold, so you don't have to wait for it to cool down. And I know I like to use this container. I'll probably make like one and some of this container. I'll even share with you the putting in the container activity. Because honestly, that is part of it, and it takes a couple minutes to pack up the stuff. I learned the hard way to take the blade out first on my Ninja. Otherwise, the blade comes pouring down into the food, which is kind of a bummer. So that's that. And here we go. And I like to put it all like into one corner because the weight of it helps all of it come out at once, so to speak. So there's, oh, it looks so good. I'm telling you, on top of salads, it's that ranch dressing that I don't eat anymore. I mean, no, it doesn't taste like ranch dressing, but it's that super creamy, yum yum, delicious on salads. And I just started doing that recently. That fell in the category of I've lived this long and had no idea how delicious it is to put hummus on salads. So I really like it. And this keeps, a couple weeks in the fridge. If I'm sure it freezes fine. Maybe not. Sometimes things aren't as good after they've been frozen, but the magic of pulling something out of the freezer that's delicious and yummy and on point. But I don't know, I guess I haven't frozen hummus. But I eat it pretty quickly. And like I said, when I was, well, I didn't say this part, but in Iceland, one of our tricks was to get some good bread and some tomato and some cucumber and some lettuce and hummus and make a sandwich, and they were delicious. So I do love a good hummus sandwich at home. I like to put it on toasted bread. At home, I tend to use the Ezekiel sprouted bread, and I toast that puppy up and put some hummus on it, and it is delicious. The trick with hummus on a sandwich, I ain't gonna lie, is that it tends to squirt out. So that's, like I said, why I prefer the thicker version over something more runny. And usually what you get at the store is more runny. So there's my hummus. I hope you try it. It's super easy. It's got some protein because they're garbanzo beans, and you can never have too many legumes in your life. Thanks.